in addition to state and federal income tax, you'll also see another line item deducted from your paychecks. That is the FICA line, okay? The Federal Insurance Contributions Act. Generally, this pays for your Social Security and Medicare, okay? These are things that, in theory, you'll be paying in now, and then you receive those back upon retirement or upon reaching a certain age, right? Your Medicare, medical expenses, Social Security is your retirement, your federal retirement account, basically. You pay in now, and then they pay you back when you reach that age. And so it's kind of like an insurance, like a long-term investment, but you don't really have a choice in it, right? So in theory, you will eventually see this money back if you live long enough to. But of course, it's spread out over time, and you know, the earlier you pass away, the less of this you see in the long run. So it's kind of morbid, but that's true. Anyway, so it's kind of broken down this way. When you make money, if you're employed, we'll go to the employed side here. So if you're working for somebody, then you and your employer split the FICA. So you pay some of it, and then your employer actually pays some of it. You pay half and half. It's 7.65% paid by each on the first $118,500. So if you make less than $118,500, then that's all you're going to be working with. So on the first $118,500, you pay 7.65% of your income, and that was in 2016. I don't have the current values on here. Now, after that, so if you make more than $118,000, if you say you make $225,000 a year, then the rest of that you only have to pay in 1.45% on the rest. Okay, so you subtract off the $118,500, and that remaining amount is what you pay the 1.45% on. Okay, and your employer matches it. Now, if you're self-employed, meaning you have your own business, you don't work for somebody, then you pay the full amount and it comes off your profits. Okay, so you pay 15.5%, which is the total of those two, on the first $118,500 of your profits, and 2.9%, which is the sum total of these two, on the excess, whatever's in addition to that. Okay, and so that comes right off your paychecks, or right out of your profits each year. And you don't have nice deductions and exemptions and all that stuff. This is just a straight calculation. And so basically, you know, as a quick example, if you made, $225,000 in wages or in income, and you were employed, right? Then what you pay is going to be 7.65% on the first 118,000. So you do the 118,500 times 0.0765, right? That's your decimal form of that percent. So 118500 times 0.0765, and that equals $9,065.25. Okay, so that's the first portion. Then you subtract these two amounts. So you do 225,000 minus 118,500, and that is 106,500. And then on that remaining amount, you pay 1.45%. So you do 106,500 times that amount, 0.0145, right? Move the decimal two places. We do that calculation. And we get 1,544 $0.25. And then you add those two numbers together, and that would be your FICA deduction. So, what's it? That number plus 9065.25 is going to be, oops, let's actually write that nice and neat. That's better. And so you'd be paying $10,609.50. Okay, $10,609.50 in FICA. Okay, but of course that's for somebody who's making $225,000 in income. So just you're going to see this a few times in the homework. It's good just to know. But that also means that your employer is matching that, so you actually get double this amount. So you're actually getting $21,218.19, something like that. Anyway, double that amount. That's how much is actually going into your FICA account, so to speak, whatever it is. Anyway, and then of course, if you were self-employed, you would use these two percentages here instead of the ones that I took off of the employed side of the table. Okay. Again, this table is actually in your textbook and your ebook on MyMathLab, and so these are the values for 2016 that are going to be used in the homework. However, the current values, whichever year you're watching this, may change. So I'm just going to stick with that 2016 value because these values do change over time.